Good afternoon, great people. Welcome to the Inspired Moments with Aunty B. And right now, I am at SOUNDBANK Media and Entertainment Hub in the city of IBADAN. And here with me in the studio, I have a very beautiful woman, Mrs. Adebayo Mercy. So good to have you, ma.
Thank you so much, ma.
Oh, she came all the way from Ogun State. It's so amazing that she came to our studios. She came to grace my podcast, and I'm so excited to have her here. So today we'll be talking about a very important topic, which is overcoming low self-esteem, and she'll be doing justice to the topic. But before then, I want you to tell the audience how you are into teenage ministry. How did you did you get inspired? Did anyone prophesy to you that you're going to start teenage ministry, or what happened?
Okay, thank you so much, Ma, once again.
You're
for
welcome.
having me. It feels so good to be here.
You're welcome.
Especially for today's topic regarding low self-esteem. You see, I've been there before. I happen to have first-hand experience growing up with low self-esteem, and I understand what it feels like to have low self-esteem, the struggles, and how challenging it is. It affects even in education and the social life generally, even spiritually.
Yes.
So by God's grace, me coming out of it, I find it interesting, and I now find it as a passion to helping teenagers to as well come out of it.
Okay.
So that's how I got myself here.
You got yourself here. So did you visit secondary schools? Is it in church or in society?
Well, let's say the society at large, both in church, the educational sector. You see, every aspect I come in contact, anywhere I come in contact with teenagers that are suffering or struggling with low self-esteem, I find it interesting, and I just it as a passion to engage them and just come out of it, because I know how difficult this thing has negative effects even on the life of these children. So it's just something I find passionate, and I don't want anyone to suffer or go through same thing I went through, because I know how negative
so
it is.
That means it's a passion. Yes. So and today she'll be talking about overcoming low self-esteem for teenage girls, and I'm so sure she's going to say so many things. So I think we should listen, watch this and listen. So one of the questions I'm going to be asking is, how do you discover that a teenage girl is experiencing low self-esteem? How do the society, parents, guardian, how do you know that this girl is going through low self-esteem?
Well, the number one thing I would want our parents and friends to know is the child being reserved. Now, the thing is, not all child in the actual sense are actually reserved. It's just that they find themselves, they just hide under that word reserved. But the truth is, when you move closer, you realize that there's something off or odd about that particular child. I understand that there's some child that are actually reserved naturally.
Some are reserved.
But the truth is, not all. When you notice that something is off in this child, or maybe you feel like there is a potential in this child, but it's just that he or she is always hiding
keeping to herself.
I'm reserved, I'm this. Just try to monitor the child. Is she really reserved? Or there is something actually wrong with the child, and then she's hiding I'm reserved. Then another thing is, when a child fails to accept compliments. Maybe when you tell a child, you look so beautiful today, and the child will be like, she's lying, am I really beautiful?
Yes.
It's not true. She's
when
just
you don't accept, you feel you are not, the child feels, okay, I'm not good enough, I'm unlovable,
I'm not beautiful,
I'm unacceptable, all those things. When you believe something.
So when they hear something like that and they feel like this is not true about me, then you know something is off about the child.
Yes, and I think self-confidence is something, low self-confidence, or let me even put it this way, low self-esteem is something that happens when a child is growing up. I don't think an adult will just wake up and say, I have low self-esteem. It's something that maybe your parents, or maybe a bullying from secondary schools, or from the parent, from the society. Someone is telling you you are not beautiful, you have a very big head, and you accept it. You
accept that bad aspect.
And when people tell you that you are beautiful, you find it difficult to believe that you are beautiful. When people tell you that, I love your hair, you say, instead of saying thank you, you see that the child will say, which hair? The hair that is not fine and all that. And when you check some adults now, the kind of replies they give to people, that I think this person is suffering from low self-esteem because they don't accept compliments.
Good things, especially.
Yes, when you tell them good things, they will reject it. They will accept
but
it.
The bad ones will be like, well, Kokoro now. She's being sincere. So when they struggle to accept compliment, then you know something is wrong.
So something is wrong. Yeah, thank you so much for answering that. I think I really love that. I think the second question I'll be asking is, What are some healthy ways to build self-confidence in teenage girls?
Now, the first thing is confession, affirmation. Now, it is, I do tell some of these teenagers I come in contact with that are especially suffering with low self-esteem. I tell them that the way you see yourself determines the way others will see you.
Okay.
Now, if you see yourself as I'm not good enough, even if you go out there to make a presentation and you are saying something that actually makes sense, the attention people are giving to you feel like they're actually saying something else different from the presentation you are making. You might start feeling like, maybe it's my big head they are looking at, whereas they are paying attention to the good things you are saying.
I think so. Yes, continue.
The way you see yourself determines what people will say about you, or what your head will imagine that people are saying about you, because they might not necessarily be saying what you think they are saying. So the first thing is, how do I see myself? The way you see yourself determines your confidence. If I see myself as I have a big head, once I go out there,
people would,
my consciousness will start thinking of the big head I have. Now, automatically, indirectly, to affect my confidence. Even if I have something good to say, I'll feel like the attention they are giving to me is my big head. So that thing already reduces your confidence. So the first thing is, how do you see yourself? Now, if you have negative way you see yourself, from now henceforth, change that mindset.
It's a mindset.
It's a mindset thing. Change the way you see yourself. Because however you see yourself determines how much you will carry yourself when you get out there.
I even think, even when people are telling you that you have big head, don't look at yourself like that. You know, when people are telling, because people around you, you know, your peers, parents, guidance, they are insultive. They can actually insult you, but it is what you believe about yourself that matters. Don't believe what people will say negative. It is normal for people to say negative things to you. It is so normal. So it depends on you. What do you believe about yourself? You know, have this standard belief mindsets that, okay, this is what I believe about myself. So, and I think another question I'll be asking, what roles do you think society, parents, guidance can help, you know, with, especially for these teenage girls, so that they will build this confidence that they are enough. They are not below, they are enough, irrespective of what they are hearing, what people are telling them, negative things they are used to. How can the parents, society, guidance, you know, help them to become a better version of themselves?
The first thing a parent or colleague or anyone around this teenager should do is let that teenager get used to receiving positive compliments. Now, if a child that is used to growing up with, oh, my dear, you've woken up today, you look so beautiful, thank you, mommy. If the child goes outside and someone tells her negative thing, you're not even looking beautiful today, the child will deny it. Because why? She grew up in a place where she's always used to getting compliments.
That's true.
That is building her self-esteem, that is building her confidence. Now, a child wakes up in a very good house. You look so beautiful today. Or maybe even the child didn't do well in an exam. Like, wow, you tried though. There's room to improve. You know, you are not condemning the child in any aspect, even if the child is not doing well. You know, there is a way you talk to a child and the child will still feel like, although I know I didn't do it, but I can do better. It's not like, look at what you did. And your friend.
But what you are saying, do you think it can happen? I know it's happening, but the Nigeria we are, the society we are, do you think it's going to happen?
They just have to make it happen. Because now, if I'll be very sincere with most teenagers I've worked with, larger percentage of them are suffering low self-esteem. So it simply means that something is wrong in upbringing in our families. Most times our parents don't really have time to look at you and say you look beautiful. In the morning they're prepared for market. They don't even have the time to even check a child and even know that this child is lacking love. You know, most times Nigerian parents just feel if I've provided your food, your money and everything, then you should not lack anything. But the truth is, most of these girls, especially the teenage girls, they need love. Not just providing food and money, but come to me. Oh, you look beautiful today, you look this. Understand that presently, especially Nigerian parents, we are lacking that. It will be very sincere, and that's why most teenagers are suffering low self-esteem. So if we really want these things to reduce, let it start from home.
You should start from home. What about the society? Okay, we are talking about home, yes, but what about the society? How can the society help these young
girls
to believe in themselves, because we are talking about the parents alone. It's not only the parent aspect. They will go outside there. They have friends. They have people in church, in schools, and in churches and all that. How can we help them as a society aside from the parents?
Now let's look at.
Sorry for cutting you, because I know so many people are watching this. I am an adult. If I see a teenage girl, how will I react to the teenage girl? It is my responsibility to know how I can react to such girls, so that I won't go and make mess of a girl's life just because I didn't work on my own my ability to interact with that child. Yes.
Now let me use an example of thank God I'm an educator. I work in the educational system. Now I thought of something, I think yesterday or day first. They said one other aspect a teacher could be affecting a low self-esteem of a child is there is this thing that do happen in school now, whereby the brilliant ones, we have a campus. The not so brilliant, they will separate them.
It's happening with adults too now.
With adults, they will separate them.
Yes.
And there is a way the teacher will do it. It's not that even the one that is not brilliant will not have access to the brilliant ones. Now, as a teacher, at that point, you are not helping a child that is not so brilliant. That can cause low self-esteem.
That's true.
Now, as a teacher at that point, I understand that not all child, learn same way. Because I don't assume that a child is dull. It all depends on how you see it, or the rate at which the child is trying to catch up. Now, in such situation, do not cause discrimination. Don't separate them, provided they are in the same class. Fine, we know that some are brilliant and the other ones are not brilliant. Don't make the other party feel like we are not good enough to actually mingle with these ones. How will they learn? Now, there are some studies, like there are some impacts you make in a child. It's not just the teacher's impacts, but the classmates too. There's a way you relate with your classmate and you catch up fast. So in that situation where a teacher already separated this one from this one, how will the child grow? Now, in such situation, low self-esteem is inevitable. Because the teacher already played the role to make the other one feel less. So in such situation, try to make sure that they interact, even if the child still wants to behave like me or way. But the truth is, you as a person, make sure that the child does not feel less of himself. Because there are some child that they have issues with catching up with studies. It doesn't necessarily mean that they are dull or they want to remain dull. Because there's some child that they just want for a car winning. But in a case whereby there's some child that they really want to know it, but a teacher already creates that discrimination. How then?
It shouldn't be.
It shouldn't be. So in such situation, a teacher can as well play a major role to helping a child's self-esteem, even in class. So with that, it's even society, all the society we're talking about, education, church, home.
Yes, that's the main
society for teenagers.
Yes, that's
so
true.
If we let's forget about the parent aspect that we've been talking about. The next one is the school.
The school.
Okay, true. Like for someone like me, I said I grew up with low self-esteem. All through my primary, secondary, the highest result I ever had was 4th position.
Oh my God.
What happened? Low self-esteem. I do say something that low self-esteem has major effects even in education. Like one example I gave to you now. Even if a child really wants to learn, but a teacher is not giving room or access to helping the child mingle,
that's true.
How will the child
even the
then
child
learn?
will believe that this is my stopping point.
Because if a teacher gonna want to make me, so what then do I want to do? Allow the child mingle. Aside from education, you see, there is a way you and your peer group would mingle together. You'll be social and all of that.
That's
Everything
true.
is not just 2 + 2 4. There is a way you be together and you'll be social and all of that. So helping the child grow, even in society, still boils back to even the teachers. Like me now, while growing up, I never had teachers that really was so intentional about me doing well. Now, that same child, I'm using myself as an example. That same child that have issues with 4th position, you won't believe that when I got to our institution, I graduated as the best graduating student in my department. So what changed? So I was never dull. You don't understand?
Yes.
I was never dull.
Stopping.
Something restricted my growth. So low self-esteem is something really broad, and its negative effect is really more than what we actually think. It can affect you in your educational aspect. It can affect your spiritual life. It can affect your social life.
Like amount to anything, and you believe it so well that
to anything
you refuse to even take a step forward.
Like the example I made about teachers is something I had experience. So I could tell that some other mistakes teachers are doing to helping this low self-esteem grow is discrimination. You know, while I was in school, they already had this campus, and they are very good. These ones are so. I had issues mingling. I already looked down on myself.
The child will not even know.
Teacher will be like, you don't have to tell a child that this one is better than you.
The parents will be confused that is it that my child is not good?
You understand? So even if a child is dull, a teacher should not make it known that this one is better than this. I understand that Nigerian parents today used to compare. That comparison is a big problem. Is a big problem. Okay, even if the parents are doing like that, a child that comes to school, the teacher should help in making sure that same mistake is experiencing at home is not happening in school.
But if a child is experiencing at home and the same child gets to school and
same thing,
experiencing the same thing, that means
so where else would that child learn? Where else? Is it church? Of course, church will play a major role, but you see those theory aspects. It is so good important that those aspects find a major role in making sure that a child esteem is preserved.
I love the way you broke it, honestly. I enjoyed this conversation because it's actually a broad topic that someone cannot discuss in a day. Low self-esteem is a silent killer.
That's just the word, really, because you are in a world where you have a lot on your inside and you cannot just be able to let it come out.
Express yourself.
Yes. It's not finding expression. So what's the essence of life? Even this low self-esteem can affect the purpose why you are created. Take for example, I said this low self-esteem of a thing is something I've had first-hand experience. So it's something I love to talk about. Okay. You won't believe that, okay, I love to act. I can act for Africa. Yes. But growing up, I never knew I could.
Yes.
Because I had issues with low self-esteem. But someone, a colleague, a friend, not even my parent or this one, it was like, Messi, you can do it. I was like, if I go out there, they will say, because I have had issues with body image too. Okay. This self-esteem has different reasons why you had low self-esteem. It has various reasons why you had low self-esteem. For some persons that have issues with, I don't like the way a part of my body is. I don't like that one is even terrible. Especially if that person is if you look at that person and the person is actually having that thing he or she is complaining of, you'll be like, God, where do I start to encourage this person? Now there's a difference between this person have big head and in the actual sense, the person actually have big head. It's very very hard to advise.
That's true.
Unlike if you don't have the big and I'm saying you have it, that one you can still, but I'm just being realistic, you understand?
Yes.
So, the person was like, you can do it. There was a drama administration that day and it was like a competition. But the person, there is a way he knows me to an extent and he was like, you can do this thing, but why is it that you always have issues with coming out to make people see how much you have on your inside? So that day he pushed me. But you will do this thing. I now went out. That day, it was the beginning of me coming out of low self-esteem. That day I did, and people came. Wow, I don't know you can act. I was like, And
so you can.
So I can do this.
Oh God!
That there was like so what I've been.
What
holding me down,
hiding myself.
And this is something that people need to see. So that day when I did it, and people were like, wow, so you can act, so you can do this thing. I was like, wow. And nothing happened to me. I was like, if I come out there, she ground will not swallow me like this. And I did, the ground did not swallow me. The ground even contained very well. Like, oh God, mercy. It's too late to fail. You must stand up. From that moment, although it wasn't easy now, I'm just saying now because I feel like I've overcome this thing. But then it wasn't easy. Low self-esteem is a struggle. When we say struggle, it is indeed a struggle. But the first thing is, are you ready to come out of it? So first, be ready to come out of it.
Yes.
Know that I have a lot on my inside that the world needs to see. When you have that mindset, even if you have big head, in the actual sense.
Yes.
The world is not waiting to see the big head, but
head,
that
your
thing that makes you
potential,
stand out.
Yes, what makes you unique.
Unique.
Because when you are unique, people they won't even look at your big head.
They won't
look
do,
at
they
your,
won't mind though.
maybe you have big nose. They will just want you to please say what you have.
Yes, we want to receive what we don't have, and we know you have.
Yes.
So self-belief, self-acceptance, that body image aspect is first self-acceptance. There is a time I wrote something on Facebook about self-acceptance. Although many people don't know self-acceptance, they just know self-esteem and all of that. But I was just led to write about self-acceptance. Is it that your head that is too big? Accept it like that. Is it that your big belly? It was funny.
Are you a dwarf? Accept it. There's nothing you can do about it. Will you now kill yourself? People will talk. But just accept.
There's some things that we do not have control over.
You don't have control.
I say, see, self-acceptance is possible. Just accept it. Then someone came into my DM. I was like, Mama, can you come? Actually, I have big head. And sincerely speaking, I looked at the head. This head is moderate now. If someone I've seen physically, maybe over time, maybe the head later grow big. That was why I had to say, send your recent picture. Let me be sure.
Yeah.
I zoomed everything. It was moderate. I was like, no, you don't have a big head. And he said, you won't believe that it is this big head that has actually been limiting me. I was like, wow.
And do you know that maybe it's what people are even saying to her?
So what?
Maybe parents, peers and all that. See your head. Your head is big, and then she believed it, and she won't be able to express herself.
I was sincerely shocked that day, like, big head. Let's even say the head was actually big. There is a way we still find. Yeah. But this one wasn't even big. I was like, no. And I was like, so for someone like this now would be given something to do, and then she will go out there instead of bringing out how much she has on her inside. She'll be conscious of the fact that she has big head because she sees herself as someone who has big head. So she will assume that every other person actually seeing the big head and not what I'm bringing out, the exhibition. So you see, some of these things are we just need God to help us, really. We just need God to help us and just keep confessing positive things. Self-acceptance is needed to overcome low self-esteem as well.
That's a very, very good one. I love this topic, honestly. Because if you are discussing about this topic next time, I'm going to bring her. We are going to bring you all the way from Ogun State. So I think, how can self-talk actually help with low self-esteem?
Thank you. Self-talk, that's saying positive things.
Yes, affirmation,
yes. Confession. I am this, I am bold, I am smart. At times, you can keep confessing the thing that you have not yet become.
Okay.
But the more you keep confessing it, words have a way of finding expression to come alive. Even if you have not become that thing. Some child cannot say, Aunty, I'm rich. And you look at biscuit 5 naira, you must be what? But something must have really spoiled him to keep saying, I am rich, I am rich. And it will shock you in years to come, that child is rich.
That's true.
So self-talk, even if you are not saying that you should lie, that this is who I am. No.
Yes.
But you are speaking life.
Yes, you are speaking life
to yourself.
That's the best word.
You are speaking life. You are speaking manifestation. You are speaking things to happen.
Yes.
Even if it does not look like it now, keep speaking it. We live in a world whereby if you feel like you have a good self-esteem, they might interpret it to mean overconfidence or pride.
That's just
now,
the right
there is
word
still need for balance. Because at times you might feel like you are trying to have a good self-esteem and then you are going overboard. So there is need for balance. So in everything, be sure that in your spirit, soul, and body, your mindset, you have a good motive.
Yeah.
To professing these things.
Yes.
So there is need for balancing. But if you are sure you've checked everything and you're sure that no, this thing I'm just doing it to stay and to stay sane and to build my confidence, to do all of these things, then keep confessing it. Even if it's not looking like it. Okay, you did a project and you failed. Or maybe in your class, mommy was expecting you to get first position and at the end of the day you got third or fourth.
Yes.
That's not the time to sit down and start crying,
Yes.
That's time to say, I am first. I'm not saying you are lying. We know that fault is Let me
even ask this. What about parents? How can parents help these teenage girls, to how can they help them in self-talk? Self-talk. Yes.
First is encouragement.
Okay.
Because at times, teenagers, just the way they can easily build confidence, the same way they can easily give up on things easily.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So in a situation whereby your parent already encourage you, don't worry, you become first, you get first position, and at the end of the day, the child came home with third position. At that point, the parents should speak healing. Now, healing is not only when you have sickness or malaria. Healing is even when you are wounded. Because at that point, any word the child received in that state can either make or mar the child. So at that point, first speak healing, not neglecting the fact that but there is room to improve. But at that point, speak healing. Let the child know that, well, this is life. Life can be this. But speak healing first to that child. Make sure that at that point, the child is healed.
Yes.
Mentally, not wanting to quit and all of that. Mentally, make sure the child is healed. Then when the child is healed, encourage the child that this is not the end. You can come up.
That's true.
You can rise.
Yes.
So at that point, the child is already motivated. But don't encourage the child when the child is still going through wounded hearts.
That's true.
First speak healing. After healing, then encourage the child. This is not the end. Stand up. So at that point, the child already know that, okay, life can happen. You can actually lose at some point, but I can rise. Let the child know that losing, there are some bitter truths we tell a child, but it is needed for us to tell the child so that when the child later encounter you, not feel hurt like, she your man fail. Let the child know that, fine, you can fail, but there is room.
Okay. So what would be your last, will I say statement? Because if I say not a statement, or just maybe a statement, to round up this podcast.
Well, so let me first talk to our parents. So our parents out there, teachers, and to everyone that has contact with a teenage girl, please always encourage them and be sincere when having communication with them. Because I can tell you to do this, but at the end of the day, it might not just be it until you have a communication with a child. Because we deal with child differently depending on who they are and what they've gone through. So have sincere communication with them. Then to teenagers, whatever it is you're going through, just know someone have been there before. I've been there before and I came out by God's grace. So you too can get up, you can rise up. There is something unique about you that the world needs to see and to know. But if you remain there, how can the society see how much of potential you have on your inside? So it is time to get up and rise up. The world awaits you. You can't afford to miss this. Okay?
Yes, thank you so much for coming to my podcast. I really enjoyed this discussion with you. She shared so many things. So if you are just joining us, quickly go back to the Facebook and we watch it once again. Share it to your loved ones. I'm sure they are going to be blessed. She shared so many things, her personal stories and all that, and it's going to be a wonderful time watching this with teenage girls around you. Maybe you're a parent, you can show it to your children so that they will be blessed. And thank you so much to SOUNDBANK Media and Entertainment Hub for this opportunity. This podcast is actually powered by SOUNDBANK. So thank you so much for joining us. If you are just joining us, this is SOUNDBANK Media and Entertainment Hub. So join us, same TV station online next time. Have a wonderful afternoon. Bye bye.